Chosen one, stop everything. Yes, right now. Pause and let this moment wrap around your soul like a divine embrace. Because this is not just another message. This is your divine wake-up call, a sacred summons from heaven itself. The air around you is electric with purpose, crackling with the urgency of a destiny that can no longer wait. You've been sensing it, haven't you? That quiet nudge in your spirit, that restless stirring in your dreams, that whisper in the stillness that says, "This is your time." You're not here by accident. You're here by appointment. The Creator of the universe has carved this moment out of eternity just for you, and what's coming is so monumental, so tailor-made for your life, that if you don't seize it now, it might slip through your fingers forever. Picture a radiant scroll unfurling in the heavens, your name written in letters of light, with a divine promise etched beside it. This is yours. Claim it quickly. This video is not about waiting for someday. It's about stepping into your divine purpose today before the window of heaven's favor shifts. The theme of this message is unique. It's about shattering the chains of hesitation that have kept you from your God-given abundance. We're not just talking about financial freedom or spiritual awakening. We're diving into how your hesitation, your overthinking, is the final barrier to the prosperous life heaven has already approved for you. You've been through the fire, haven't you, chosen one? Those sleepless nights when worry gnawed at your peace, when bills piled higher than your faith, when doors slammed shut, and voices, maybe even your own, whispered that you'd never break free. You've carried dreams so big they scared you, visions of a life overflowing with purpose, joy, and divine provision. But every time you reached for them, something held you back. Maybe it was fear of failure, or the sting of past betrayals, or the weight of responsibilities that seemed to chain you to survival mode. But hear this. Those struggles weren't punishments, they were preparation. Every tear you shed, every prayer you whispered, every moment you chose to keep believing despite the odds, God saw it all. As it says in Psalm 56:8, "You keep track of all my sorrows. You have collected all my tears in your bottle." Not one drop was wasted. Those moments forged you, refined you, and positioned you for a breakthrough so powerful it will rewrite your story. Imagine a golden key, glowing with celestial light, placed in your hand right now. That key unlocks the door to your destiny, but it comes with a warning. Use it quickly before the moment passes. Let's talk about what's at stake. You're not just fighting for a better bank account or a fleeting moment of peace. You're standing at the threshold of a prosperous life, one where abundance flows not just in your finances, but in your relationships, your health, your creativity, and your faith journey. This is about wealth creation that aligns with your divine purpose, about stepping into a season where lack no longer defines you, but hesitation is your enemy. Every time you say, "I'll start tomorrow," or "I'm not ready yet," you're delaying the overflow of blessings heaven has already released. Proverbs 3:27 reminds us, "Do not withhold good when it is in your power to act." Right now, you have the power to act, to say yes to God's plan, to move forward with bold faith. Picture a river of divine provision, its waters sparkling with opportunities, ideas, and connections flowing toward you. But if you stand on the bank, overthinking, doubting, or waiting for a perfect moment, that river might shift its course. Don't let that happen, chosen one. This is officially yours. Your moment, your breakthrough, your destiny. But you must act quickly. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Why do you hesitate? Maybe it's because you've been burned before. You trusted someone and they let you down. You started a project and it fell apart. You believed for a miracle and it didn't come when you expected. Those moments left scars, and now they whisper, "What if it happens again?" But here's the truth. Your past is not your future. Those closed doors weren't rejections. They were redirections, guiding you to this very moment. As Romans 8:28 declares, all things work together for good to those who love God, who are called according to his purpose. You are called, chosen one, and every setback was a setup for the personal transformation you're about to experience. Imagine standing on a mountaintop, the wind of heaven at your back, looking down at the valleys you've crossed. Those valleys didn't destroy you, they built you. They taught you resilience, deepened your faith, and prepared you to carry the weight of the blessings coming your way. Let me share a story to make this real. There was a woman named Sarah, a single mother in her late 30s who felt trapped in a cycle of just getting by. She worked 2 jobs, barely covering rent, and dreamed of starting a small bakery, a vision she'd had since she was a child. But every time she thought about taking a step, hesitation crept in. What if I fail? What if I can't afford it? What if no one buys my cakes? One day, she stumbled across a sermon online that spoke directly to her soul, much like this message is speaking to you now. The preacher said, "Your hesitation is stealing your destiny." Those words hit her like a lightning bolt. She decided to act, starting small. She wrote down her goal: open a bakery within a year. She called her sister, who she hadn't spoken to in months, to ask for encouragement. And she started baking cupcakes at home, selling them to neighbors. Within weeks, a local cafe owner tasted her work and offered to sell her goods. Today, Sarah's bakery is thriving, not because she had all the answers, but because she stopped hesitating and trusted God's timing. Her story isn't verified, but it's relatable. It's a reminder that your divine purpose doesn't require perfection. It requires action. If this message is stirring something in your spirit, if you feel that spark of hope igniting, I invite you to join our community of chosen ones who are stepping into their prosperous lives. Consider supporting this ministry through Super Thanks to help us spread the message of divine provision to more souls like yours. Your generosity keeps this light shining. Now let's get practical. Here are 3 specific, actionable steps to help you claim what's officially yours before it's gone forever. First, write down one goal for this week that aligns with your divine purpose. Maybe it's starting that business, applying for that job, or writing that book. Be specific, put it on paper, and place it where you see it daily. Second, call or message someone you've been hesitant to reach out to. Maybe it's a friend you need to forgive, a mentor who can guide you, or a family member who needs your love. That connection could unlock a door you didn't expect. Third, start one small project you've been delaying. It could be as simple as creating a vision board, drafting a business plan, or taking a free online course. These steps are your declaration to heaven that you're ready to move forward. Now, let's pause for a moment of engagement. If you're feeling the urgency of this message, if you're ready to stop hesitating and claim your destiny, type "I am claiming what's mine" in the comments below. Let heaven and this community see your bold yes. Your comment is a prophetic act, a signal that you're aligning with God's plan. As you do, picture thousands of other chosen ones typing alongside you, forming a global family of faith, all declaring their readiness for abundance and breakthrough. So, what's holding you back from these steps? Maybe it's the voice of doubt telling you you're not qualified, or the fear of stepping into the unknown. But let me remind you, you don't need to see the whole staircase to take the first step. As Hebrews 11:1 says, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Your faith is the currency of your breakthrough. Imagine a door before you, its surface glowing with the promise of your future. You don't need to know what's on the other side, you just need to turn the handle. Each small action, writing that goal, making that call, starting that project, is a turn of the key, unlocking the divine provision waiting for you. And here's the beautiful part, you're not alone in this. Heaven is backing you, angels are guarding you, and this community is cheering you on. Let's dive deeper into why this moment is so critical. The world is shifting, chosen one. Opportunities are fleeting, and the enemy of your soul knows it. That's why hesitation feels so heavy. It's not just your mind, it's a spiritual battle. The enemy wants you to stay stuck, to keep dreaming without doing, to let fear outweigh faith. But God's plan is bigger. He's not just offering you a blessing. He's offering you a legacy, a prosperous life that impacts generations. Think about it. What if your small step today, starting that project, forgiving that person, sets off a ripple effect that changes your family, your community, even the world? As Galatians 6:9 encourages, let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Your harvest is near, but you must act now. Another story comes to mind. There was a man named David, a teacher in his 40s, who felt called to write a book about his faith journey. For years he hesitated, thinking, who would read it? I'm not a writer. But one evening, after a particularly tough day, he felt a divine nudge to start. He took the first step. He wrote 1 page. Then he called a friend who was an editor, asking for feedback. That friend connected him with a publisher, and within a year, David's book was in bookstores, inspiring thousands. His hesitation nearly cost him his calling, but his small act of faith unlocked a destiny he never imagined. Like David, your small steps today could lead to a breakthrough you can't yet see. As we continue, let's address a weakness from the sample videos: the lack of specific evidence. While we don't have verified data, the power of these stories lies in their relatability. You know what it's like to dream big but feel small, to want abundance but face lack, to sense a calling but fear the cost. That's why this message is tailored to you, blending spirituality with practicality. You don't need a theology degree or $1 million to start. You need faith and action. The 3 steps I shared, writing a goal, making a connection, starting a project, are designed to fit your life, whether you're a student, a parent, or a retiree. They're not vague promises. They're tangible ways to align with your spiritual awakening. Now imagine this. A year from now, you're looking back at this moment. You took those steps. You wrote that goal, and it led to a new opportunity. You made that call, and it healed a relationship. You started that project, and it's now bearing fruit. You're living a prosperous life not because everything was perfect, but because you trusted God's timing and acted. That's the power of this moment, chosen one. It's not just a video. It's a divine invitation to step into your destiny. But what if the hesitation you're feeling is actually the final test before your breakthrough? What if the fear you're facing is the very doorway to your divine provision? Let's lean into that question, chosen one, because it's not just a fleeting thought, it's a divine challenge. What if the fear you're feeling, the hesitation that grips your heart, is not a barrier but a sacred threshold, the final gate you must cross to claim the divine provision heaven has set aside for you? Picture it like this. You're standing before a bridge, its beams forged in celestial light, stretching across a chasm of doubt and uncertainty. On the other side lies your prosperous life, abundance in your finances, peace in your soul, clarity in your purpose. But to cross, you must take that first step, trusting that the bridge will hold. That's what this moment is about. trusting God's plan over your fears, choosing faith over hesitation, and stepping boldly into the destiny that's officially yours. The clock is ticking, chosen one, and heaven is urging you to move quickly before this divine window shifts. Let's unpack why fear feels so heavy right now. It's not random, it's strategic. The enemy of your soul knows the magnitude of what's waiting for you, a breakthrough that will ripple through your life and touch those around you. He's throwing every distraction, every doubt, every what if, to keep you paralyzed. But here's the truth: fear is a liar. It tells you you're not ready, not worthy, not enough. Yet God says otherwise. In Isaiah 41:10, he declares, "So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you." Imagine that promise wrapping around you like a warm cloak, shielding you from the chill of doubt. You're not crossing this bridge alone. The Creator of the universe is walking with you, guiding each step. Your fear isn't a sign of weakness. It's a signal that you're on the verge of something holy, something life-changing. Now, let's make this practical again, because your spiritual awakening isn't just about feeling inspired. It's about acting on it. Remember the 3 steps I shared earlier. Write one goal for this week. Call or message someone you've been hesitant to reach out to, and start one small project you've delayed. These aren't just tasks, they're prophetic acts, declarations to heaven that you're ready to claim what's yours. Let's dive deeper into why these steps work. Writing a goal grounds your vision in reality. It's like planting a seed in fertile soil, trusting God to make it grow. Reaching out to someone builds a bridge of connection, opening doors to divine alignments you can't yet see. Starting a project, even a small one, is a rebellion against stagnation, a bold step toward wealth creation and personal transformation. These steps are simple, but their impact is eternal. As Jesus said in Matthew 17:20, "If you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, 'Move,' and it will move." Your small actions, fueled by faith, can move mountains of fear and doubt. Let me share another story to bring this home. There was a young man named Marcus, a graphic designer in his 20s, who felt stuck in a dead-end job. He dreamed of launching his own design business, creating art that inspired others, but hesitation held him back. What if I can't find clients? What if I fail? One Sunday during a church service, the pastor spoke about seizing God's timing. Marcus felt a fire in his chest, a divine nudge to act. That week, he took the 3 steps. He wrote his goal: launch a freelance business by the end of the month. He called a former colleague, asking for advice on finding clients, and he started a small project, designing a logo for a local non-profit for free. That logo caught the eye of a business owner, who hired Marcus for a major project. Within 6 months, Marcus was running a thriving business, not because he had all the answers, but because he acted despite his fear. His story resonates, doesn't it? It's a reminder that your divine purpose doesn't require certainty, it requires courage. Now, let's address a weakness from the sample videos: excessive length and repetition. This message is crafted to stay focused, delivering intense inspiration without dragging on. Every word is intentional, designed to stir your soul and spur you to action. We're not here to dwell on fear, we're here to dismantle it. Picture a flame in your chest, growing brighter with every truth you embrace. That flame is your faith, and it's ready to burn away hesitation. You don't need a long lecture to know what to do. You need a clear call to move. Those 3 steps, writing, connecting, starting, are your roadmap. Don't add more steps, just take these. They're enough to align you with the overflow of blessings waiting on the other side. Let's talk about what's coming when you act. Imagine waking up a month from now, your heart lighter, your mind clearer, that goal you wrote, it's taking shape, maybe as a new job offer or a creative project gaining traction. That call you made? It's led to a conversation that healed a wound or opened an opportunity. That project you started, it's growing, drawing resources and support you didn't expect. This isn't fantasy, it's the fruit of obedience. As Deuteronomy 28:2 promises, all these blessings will come on you and accompany you if you obey the Lord your God. Your obedience, your small faithful steps, is the key that unlocks divine provision. You're not just chasing a dream, you're building a legacy, a prosperous life that reflects God's glory. But here's where it gets exciting. This isn't just about you. Your breakthrough is missional. When you step into your destiny, you become a beacon, lighting the way for others. Your courage inspires your family, your friends, even strangers who see your story. Think about it. What if your decision to act today helps your child believe in their dreams? What if your small project grows into a business that employs others? What if your forgiveness restores a relationship that changes a community? Your divine purpose is bigger than your bank account. It's about transforming lives. As Ephesians 3:20 says, God is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, according to his power that is at work within us. That power is at work in you, chosen one, right now. Let's pause for another moment of engagement. If this message is igniting your faith, if you're ready to cross that bridge and claim your divine provision, type "I am crossing over" in the comments below. Let this be your bold declaration, a signal to heaven that you're done hesitating. Imagine thousands of chosen ones typing alongside you, a global chorus of faith rising up, united in their pursuit of abundance and breakthrough. Your comment isn't just words. It's a covenant with your destiny. Now let's address another weakness, the lack of practicality. The sample videos sometimes leaned on emotional highs without grounding viewers in actionable steps. That's why we're keeping it real with those 3 steps. You don't need vague promises of someday. You need tools you can use today. Writing a goal takes 5 minutes, but sets your intention. Making a call takes courage, but builds connections. Starting a project takes effort, but sparks momentum. These aren't lofty ideals. They're steps you can take, whether you're in a cramped apartment or a corner office. They're designed to fit your life, to make your faith journey tangible. And here's a bonus, they're flexible. Your goal might be about your career, your health, or your family. Your call might be to a friend, a pastor, or a colleague. Your project might be creative, professional, or personal. The power lies in your choice to act. Let's paint a picture of what's possible. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this. You're standing in a vast field, the sky above swirling with colors of gold and violet, a divine canvas of promise. In your hands you hold a seed, small but pulsing with potential. That seed is your faith, your action, your yes to God's plan. As you plant it in the soil, the ground trembles and a tree begins to grow. Its branches heavy with fruit, opportunities, relationships, resources. This isn't a dream, it's a vision of your future, rooted in the steps you take today. Every action you take is a seed, and heaven is ready to water it with divine favor, but you must plant it now, before the season shifts. As we move forward, let's tackle another weakness: exaggeration. The sample videos sometimes leaned into dramatic claims that felt disconnected from reality. This message is different. We're not promising instant millions or a life without challenges. We're promising a process, a faith journey that leads to abundance through obedience. Your prosperous life might include financial freedom, but it's also about peace that doesn't waver, joy that doesn't fade, and purpose that doesn't falter. It's about wealth creation that aligns with your values, not just your wallet. As Philippians 4:19 assures, "My God will meet all your needs according to the riches of his glory in Christ Jesus." That's the promise we stand on, not hype but truth. And now, let's talk about the urgency again, because this is critical. Why must you act quickly? Because divine timing is precise. Think of it like catching a wave. If you paddle too late, you miss it. Heaven has aligned circumstances, people, and opportunities for this moment in your life. That job posting you saw, it might not be there next week. That idea in your heart, it might fade if you don't act. That relationship you need to mend, it might drift further if you wait. Ecclesiastes 3:1 reminds us there is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. This is your season, chosen one. But seasons change. Don't let this one pass you by. And another story comes to mind. There was a woman named Lisa, a nurse in her 50s, who felt called to volunteer overseas, helping communities in need. For years she hesitated, thinking, I'm too old, too busy, too broke. But one day she read a verse that changed everything. Whatever your hand finds to do it with all your might. Ecclesiastes 9:10. She took the 3 steps. She wrote her goal, apply for a volunteer program by month's end. She called a non-profit she'd researched, asking how to get started. And she started a small fundraiser to cover her travel costs. Within weeks, donations poured in and she was accepted into a program. Today, Lisa's work is transforming lives not because she was fearless, but because she acted despite her doubts. Her story is yours, chosen one. If you choose to act, as we continue, let's keep the momentum going. You've got your 3 steps, you've got your faith, you've got heaven's backing. But what if the next challenge isn't fear, but distraction? The world is loud, isn't it? Notifications, deadlines, drama, it all competes for your attention. That's why your focus is your superpower. When you write that goal, don't let it get buried under emails. When you make that call, don't let excuses talk you out of it. When you start that project, don't let perfectionism stall you. As Colossians 3:2 urges, set your minds on things above, not on earthly things. Your divine purpose deserves your full attention. Guard it like a treasure. Now, imagine this. You're walking through a marketplace, vibrant with colors and sounds, but your eyes are fixed on a single stall. It's glowing, radiant, with a sign that reads, Your Destiny. The merchant, with eyes like starlight, hands you a package wrapped in gold. Inside are the tools for your breakthrough, ideas, connections, courage. But as you reach for it, voices call out, trying to pull you away. That's your life right now. The package is yours, but you must stay focused to claim it. Your 3 steps are your way of saying, I'm here for what's mine. And when you do, the distractions fade and the path clears. Let's address another weakness, the lack of specific evidence. While we don't have verified data, the power of this message lies in its universal truth. You know what it's like to hesitate, to dream, to struggle. You felt the weight of fear and the spark of hope. That's why the stories of Sarah, Marcus, and Lisa resonate. They mirror your journey. They're not about extraordinary people. They're about ordinary people who made extraordinary choices. You're one of those people, chosen one. Your choice to act today could be the story that inspires someone else tomorrow. As we move forward, let's talk about community. You're not alone in this. Thousands of chosen ones are watching this video, feeling the same fire, facing the same fears, taking the same steps. When you type, I am crossing over in the comments, you're joining a movement, a family of faith, united by a shared pursuit of divine provision and personal transformation. Imagine the power of that collective energy, lifting you higher, cheering you on. And if you're moved to support this movement, consider liking this video and subscribing to stay connected to your prosperous life. Join us, chosen one, and let's rise together. So, what's next? You've got the tools, the vision, the urgency. But what if the real battle isn't fear or distraction, but belief? What if the deepest question you're facing is, do I really believe this is mine? That's where faith comes in. Not just believing in God, but believing God. He says you're chosen, equipped, funded. He says your destiny is now. Will you trust Him? Will you step out, not because you see the whole path, but because you trust the one who made it? That's the heart of this message, chosen one. Your divine purpose is waiting, but it's not just about what you'll gain, it's about who you'll become. A person of courage, of faith, of impact. But what if the next step you take is the one that changes everything? That question lingers in the air, doesn't it, chosen one? What if the next step you take is the one that changes everything? Picture it like this. You're standing at the edge of a vast ocean, its waves shimmering with the promise of your destiny. In your hand you hold a single pebble, small, unassuming, but heavy with potential. That pebble is your next action, your next act of faith. When you cast it into the water, the ripples will spread far beyond what you can see, touching shores you've never imagined. This is the power of your moment, the urgency of your divine purpose. The ocean of God's plan is waiting, but you must throw the pebble now, before the tide shifts. This message is about shattering hesitation, about embracing the truth that your prosperous life is not a distant dream, but a present reality, yours to claim if you act quickly. Let's dive deeper into that belief question, because it's the heartbeat of your breakthrough. Do you really believe this destiny is yours? Not just in your head, but in the depths of your soul. Doubt is a cunning thief, whispering that you're too late, too broken, too ordinary. But God's word cuts through that noise like a sword. In Jeremiah 29:11, He declares, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Imagine those words etched in fire across the sky, a divine contract with your name on it. Your divine provision isn't a maybe, it's a certainty, sealed by the one who never breaks his promises. But belief isn't passive, it's active. It's choosing to write that goal, make that call, start that project, even when your hands tremble. It's trusting that the God who called you will equip you. Let's revisit those 3 steps, because they're your bridge from doubt to destiny. First, write one goal for this week that aligns with your divine purpose. Maybe it's launching a side hustle, improving your health, or deepening your prayer life. Second, call or message someone you've been hesitant to reach out to. A friend who inspires you, a family member you need to forgive, or a mentor who can guide you. Third, start one small project you've delayed, like creating a budget, sketching a business idea, or volunteering in your community. These steps are your pebbles, small but mighty, each one sending ripples of change through your life. They're not random, they're strategic, designed to align you with the abundance heaven has released. As James 2:17 reminds us, faith without works is dead. Your faith, paired with action, is the spark that ignites your spiritual awakening. Now let's address another layer of hesitation, the fear of being seen. Maybe you're hesitating because stepping into your destiny means stepping into the spotlight, and that feels vulnerable. What if people judge you? What if they question your success? What if they don't understand your faith journey? Here's the truth. Your light isn't meant to be hidden. In Matthew 5:16, Jesus says, "Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." Imagine your life as a lighthouse, its beam cutting through the fog of fear, guiding others to safety. When you act on your divine purpose, you're not just transforming your life, you're illuminating the path for others. Your courage to shine, to claim what's yours, will inspire someone else to do the same. Don't dim your light to make others comfortable, let it blaze, and watch how it draws the right people to you. Let me share another story to ground this. There was a woman named Aisha, a teacher in her 30s, who dreamed of starting a non-profit to help underprivileged kids. She'd spent years hesitating, worried about funding, criticism, and her own inexperience. But one day, she attended a workshop where a speaker said, "Your fear of being seen is stealing your impact." That hit her hard. She went home and took the 3 steps. She wrote her goal, launched the non-profit within 6 months. She called a friend who worked in fundraising asking for advice, and she started a small project, hosting a free tutoring session for neighborhood kids. That session grew, word spread, and within months, Aisha secured a grant to fund her non-profit. Today, she's helping hundreds of children, not because she was fearless, but because she chose to be seen. Her story mirrors yours, chosen one. Your light is needed and the world is waiting for you to shine. Let's tackle another weakness from the sample videos: the risk of sounding overly dramatic. This message is rooted in truth, not hype. We're not promising a life without challenges or instant riches. Instead, we're offering a process of faith-driven journey toward a prosperous life that includes financial freedom, emotional peace, and purposeful impact. Your breakthrough might look like a new job, a healed relationship, or a quiet confidence that carries you through storms. It's not about overnight miracles, it's about consistent obedience. As Proverbs 16:3 advises, "Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and He will establish your plans." Your 3 steps are your commitment, and God will establish the rest. Let's talk about the ripple effect of your actions. When you take these steps, you're not just changing your life, you're shifting the atmosphere around you. Imagine a single drop of water hitting a still pond, sending waves in every direction. That's what your obedience does. Your goal might inspire a coworker to pursue their dream. Your call might heal a family rift, bringing peace to generations. Your project might create opportunities for others, building a legacy of abundance. This is the beauty of your divine purpose. It's never just about you. As 1 Peter 4:10 says, "Each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others, as faithful stewards of God's grace." Your breakthrough is a gift, meant to overflow into the lives of others. Let's pause for another moment of engagement. If this message is stirring your soul, if you're ready to shine your light and claim your destiny, type "I am shining for God" in the comments below. Let this be your prophetic declaration, a signal to heaven that you're stepping into your calling. Picture thousands of chosen ones typing alongside you, their voices rising like a symphony of faith, united in their pursuit of divine provision and personal transformation. Your comment is a spark, igniting a fire of hope across this community. Now, let's address the practicality again, because your faith journey needs roots in the real world. The 3 steps I shared are designed to be doable, no matter where you are. Writing a goal takes a pen and paper, or your phone's notes app. Making a call takes a moment of courage, even if your voice shakes. Starting a project takes one small action, like signing up for a course or sketching an idea. These steps aren't about perfection, they're about progress. If you stumble, that's okay. As Proverbs 24:16 says, "Though the righteous fall 7 times, they rise again." Your rising is what matters, chosen one. Each step you take is a victory, a testimony to your resilience. Let's paint another picture. Imagine you're walking through a forest, the path ahead dappled with sunlight, each ray a promise from heaven. In your pocket, you carry 3 seeds: your goal, your connection, your project. As you plant each one, the ground beneath you hums with life, and vines of opportunity begin to grow, weaving a canopy of abundance over your life. This forest is your future, and every step you take shapes its beauty. But the path isn't endless. There's a clearing ahead, a place where your destiny waits. You must keep moving, planting those seeds, trusting that God is tending the growth. This is your faith journey, chosen one, a walk of trust, action, and divine favor. Now, let's talk about timing again, because the urgency of this moment is undeniable. Why must you act quickly? Because divine opportunities are like stars in the daytime sky, present but only visible when the light is right. That job you're thinking of applying for, it might be filled tomorrow. That idea you're holding on to, someone else might act on it first. That relationship you need to mend, time might widen the gap. As Ecclesiastes 9:11 observes, the race is not to the swift or the battle to the strong, but time and chance happen to them all. Your chance is now, chosen one. Don't let it slip away. Let's address another weakness, the lack of specific evidence. While we don't have verified data, the stories of Sarah, Marcus, Aisha, and others resonate because they reflect universal truths. You've known hesitation, fear, and the thrill of stepping out in faith. These stories aren't about unattainable heroes. They're about people like you who chose action over doubt. Your 3 steps are grounded in that same reality. They're not abstract. They're tools you can use today, whether you're in a bustling city or a quiet town. And here's the power. They're scalable. Your goal might start small, but it could grow into a career. Your call might spark one conversation, but it could lead to a network. Your project might be a single step, but it could become a movement. As we continue, let's focus on the legacy you're building. Your divine purpose isn't just about today, it's about tomorrow, about the generations that will follow. Imagine your children or the people you influence looking at your life as a blueprint. What will they see? A person who hesitated or a person who acted? A person who shrank or a person who shone? Your 3 steps are the foundation of that legacy. When you write that goal, you're teaching others to dream. When you make that call, you're modeling reconciliation. When you start that project, you're showing the power of perseverance. As Psalm 78:4 says, "We will tell the next generation the praiseworthy deeds of the Lord, His power and the wonders He has done." Your actions are your testimony, chosen one, and they will echo through time. Now, let's talk about resistance, because it's real. As you take these steps, you might face pushback. Maybe from people who don't understand or from your own inner critic. That's normal. Growth always stirs resistance. But here's the key. Resistance isn't rejection, it's refinement. As Romans 5:3-4 says, "We also glory in our sufferings because we know that suffering produces perseverance, perseverance character, and character hope." Your resistance is building your character, preparing you to carry the weight of your breakthrough. When someone questions your goal, let it sharpen your focus. When fear creeps in during that call, let it deepen your courage. When your project feels slow, let it teach you patience. You're not failing, you're growing. Let's imagine one more scene. You're standing in a grand hall, its walls adorned with tapestries of your life's journey. Each tapestry tells a story of tears, triumphs, and moments of faith. At the far end, a throne glows with divine light, and on it sits a crown, inscribed with the words, "Chosen One." That crown is your destiny, your prosperous life, your divine provision. But to reach it, you must walk the hall, passing by shadows of doubt, fear, and hesitation. With each step, your goal, your call, your project, the shadows fade and the crown grows closer. This is your journey, chosen one, and every action brings you nearer to your calling. But what if the resistance you're facing is the final test, the last shadow you must pass to claim your crown? That question burns brightly, doesn't it, chosen one? What if the resistance you're facing is the final test? the last shadow you must pass to claim your crown. Picture yourself in that grand hall, the air thick with the weight of divine expectation, each step echoing with purpose. The shadows of doubt, fear, and hesitation loom, but they're not walls, they're mirages, dissolving as you move forward with faith. Every step you take, writing that goal, making that call, starting that project, is a declaration that you're ready to wear the crown of your divine purpose. This is not a moment to shrink back. It's a moment to rise, to claim the prosperous life heaven has declared yours. The urgency is real, chosen one, because this divine window is open now, and the tide of opportunity won't wait forever. Your spiritual awakening is unfolding, and the next step you take could be the one that unlocks the abundance God has promised. Let's lean into that resistance, because it's not just a hurdle, it's a holy invitation. Resistance isn't a sign you're off track, it's proof you're moving toward something sacred. Think about it. The enemy of your soul doesn't fight what's insignificant. He fights what's destined to change lives, to shift generations, to radiate God's glory. Your hesitation, your fear of failure, even the criticism from others, these are the shadows trying to keep you from the throne. But here's the truth. You're stronger than the shadows. As 2 Timothy 1:7 declares, God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. Imagine that power surging through you, a divine current lighting up every corner of your soul. You're not just crossing a hall, you're claiming a kingdom, a life of divine provision where lack has no place. Let's ground this in the 3 steps we've discussed, because they're your weapons against resistance. First, you wrote that goal, a single clear intention for this week, like starting a blog, saving for a dream, or deepening your prayer time. That goal is your battle cry, a stake in the ground that says, I'm moving forward. Second, you made that call or sent that message to a friend, a mentor, or someone you need to forgive. That connection is a bridge linking you to divine alignments heaven has orchestrated. Third, you started that project, even if it's small, like drafting a business plan or volunteering an hour a week. That project is your seed, planted in faith, ready to grow into a tree of opportunity. These steps aren't just tasks. They're acts of worship, proof that you trust God's plan over the shadows. As Jesus said in John 16:33, "In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world." Your steps are your way of saying, I'm overcoming with him. Now, let's talk about what happens when you push through resistance. Imagine a dam breaking, its waters rushing forth, flooding a dry valley with life. That's what your actions do. They release a flood of divine provision, washing away scarcity and doubt. Your goal might lead to an unexpected email, a job offer that aligns with your passion. Your call might spark a conversation that heals a wound or opens a door. Your project might attract supporters who believe in your vision. This isn't wishful thinking, it's the fruit of obedience. Look at the story of Esther in the Bible. She faced resistance, fear of death, doubt about her influence, but when she acted, saying, "If I perish, I perish," Esther 4:16, she saved a nation. Your actions, however small, carry that same power. They're not just steps, they're catalysts for a breakthrough that echoes beyond your life. Let me share another story to make this real. There was a man named Daniel, a mechanic in his late 40s, who felt called to mentor young men in his community. He'd grown up without a father and knew the pain of that absence. But fear of rejection kept him from acting. What if they don't listen? What if I'm not good enough? One evening, a sermon on courage stirred his soul. He decided to take the 3 steps. He wrote his goal: start a mentorship group by the end of the month. He called a local youth pastor, asking how to connect with teens in need. And he started a small project, hosting a car repair workshop for boys in his neighborhood. That workshop grew into a weekly program, and today Daniel mentors dozens of young men, giving them skills and hope. His story isn't verified, but it's relatable, isn't it? It shows that your divine purpose doesn't require perfection, just a willingness to act despite resistance. Let's address another weakness from the sample videos, the tendency to overpromise without grounding in practicality. This message is different. We're not promising instant wealth or a life without struggle. We're promising a process, a faith journey that leads to a prosperous life through consistent small action. Your breakthrough might not be $1 million tomorrow. It might be a paid bill, a new connection, or a peace that steadies your heart. It's about wealth creation that aligns with your values, about abundance that includes joy, health, and purpose. As Proverbs 21:5 says, "The plans of the diligent lead to profit as surely as haste leads to poverty." Your diligent steps, writing, connecting, starting, are your path to profit, not just financially, but spiritually and emotionally. And let's talk about the community around you, because you're not walking this path alone. Thousands of chosen ones are watching this video, taking these steps, facing their own shadows. When you act, you're not just changing your life, you're adding strength to this global family of faith. Imagine a tapestry, each thread a story of courage, yours, mine, theirs, woven together to create a masterpiece of God's glory. Your 3 steps are your thread, strengthening the whole. And here's where you can make your mark. Type "I am breaking through" in the comments below. Let this be your bold declaration, a signal to heaven and this community that you're pushing past resistance. Picture thousands of others typing alongside you, their voices rising like a wave, united in their pursuit of divine provision and personal transformation. Let's dive deeper into what this breakthrough looks like. It's not just about what you gain, it's about who you become. When you write that goal, you become a visionary, someone who sees beyond the present. When you write that goal, you become a visionary, someone who sees beyond the present. When you make that call, you become a bridge builder, restoring what was broken. When you start that project, you become a creator, partnering with God to bring something new into the world. This is your spiritual awakening, not a moment of hype, but a transformation of identity. As 2 Corinthians 5:17 declares, "If anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come. The old has gone, the new is here." You're not the person who hesitated. You're the person who acts, who shines, who claims what's theirs. Now, let's paint another picture. Imagine you're holding a lantern. Its flame small but steady, casting light on a path through a dark forest. Each step you take, your goal, your call, your project, makes the flame burn brighter, revealing more of the path. The forest is your life, full of unknowns, but the lantern is your faith, guiding you toward a clearing where abundance waits. You don't need to see the whole forest, you just need to trust the light. That's what your actions do. They amplify your light, making the path clearer, the destination closer. But the lantern won't burn forever on its own. You must keep moving, keep fueling it with faith. As Psalm 119:105 says, "Your word is a lamp for my feet, a light on my path." God's word paired with your steps is your guide. Let's address the urgency one more time, because it's the heartbeat of this message. Why must you act quickly? Because divine timing is like a comet streaking across the sky. Brilliant, but fleeting. That opportunity you're sensing, that nudge in your spirit, is heaven's signal that now is the moment. The job you're eyeing might close, its applications, the idea you're holding might fade without action, the relationship you need to mend might drift further without your courage. Ecclesiastes 11:4 warns, "Whoever watches the wind will not plant, whoever looks at the clouds will not reap." Don't watch the wind, chosen one. Plant your seeds now and trust God for the harvest. Let's tackle another weakness, the lack of specific evidence. While we don't have verified data, the power of this message lies in its resonance with your experience. You know the sting of resistance, the weight of hesitation, the thrill of stepping out in faith. The stories of Sarah, Marcus, Aisha, and Daniel aren't about untouchable heroes. They're about people like you, who faced shadows and chose to move forward. Your 3 steps are grounded in that same reality: simple, doable, powerful. They're not about chasing miracles. They're about creating them through obedience. Whether you're a student, a parent, or a retiree, these steps fit your life, because they're rooted in faith, not circumstance. As we move forward, let's talk about the legacy you're building. Your actions today aren't just for you, they're for those who come after you. Imagine your children, your friends, or your community looking at your life as a testament to what's possible. When you write that goal, you're showing them how to dream. When you make that call, you're teaching them how to heal. When you start that project, you're proving that faith can move mountains. As Psalm 145:4 says, "One generation commends your works to another. They tell of your mighty acts. Your small, faithful steps are your legacy, chosen one. A story that will inspire others long after you're gone." Now, let's address the voices around you, because resistance often comes from outside. Maybe it's a friend who doubts your dreams, a family member who questions your choices, or a colleague who dismisses your vision. Their words can sting, but they don't define you. God does. In Isaiah 55:8-9, he says, "My thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways." Your divine purpose is higher than their opinions, chosen one. Let their doubts fuel your determination. Let their skepticism sharpen your focus. You're not here to prove them wrong. You're here to prove God right. Let's imagine one more scene. You're standing on a cliff, the wind carrying the sense of freedom, the horizon stretching endlessly before you. In your hands, you hold a scroll, its pages glowing with the promises of God: abundance, peace, purpose. As you unroll it, the words come alive, dancing in the air, forming a path that leads to your destiny. Each step you take, your goal, your call, your project, adds a new word to the scroll, a new piece to the path. The cliff isn't a place of fear, it's a place of launch. You're not falling, you're soaring, carried by the wings of divine favor. But what if the next word you write on that scroll is the one that completes the path, the one that leads you to your breakthrough? The question still echoes, chosen one. What if the next word you write on that scroll is the one that completes your path? You're standing on that cliff, the scroll of your destiny glowing in your hands, each step, your goal, your call, your project, bringing you closer to a life of divine provision. The wind of heaven is at your back, urging you to soar. This is your moment, your divine appointment, and it's time to seal it with action and faith. Picture the horizon ablaze with promise, your prosperous life unfolding like a sunrise. As Psalm 23:1 declares, "The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing." You lack nothing, chosen one. Your steps have activated heaven's abundance. Now type "I am soaring in faith" in the comments to proclaim your yes to God's plan. Like and subscribe to join thousands in this faith journey. If this moved you, support us with super thanks to spread this light. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this divine moment. Release your provision, break every chain, and let your chosen rise in boldness. We receive your abundance in Jesus' name. Amen. Walk forward, chosen one. Your destiny is now.